It's almost the end of the year.
Dang! Really? What's it, 2 weeks left?
Yeah, only 2 weeks left.
Well, I think it's a little more because it's 2 weeks of Christmas yesterday. 3 weeks, that's close enough.
Well, we only have 2 live streams left of 2018.
Oh, there you go. That's the way to count it.
Yep. So, with the end of the year, a lot of people are preparing for the new year. And this is the time of year that people are motivated. They're looking back at everything that they've accomplished in 2018, and they're excited for 2019.
I mean, that's what you got to do because you have to be positive.
Sure.
I mean, you have to look what you did this year, look what you want to make next year, and make a plan.
Absolutely.
And that's the big thing about this. We're talking about goals.
Yes.
And the plan is that the wind's going to suck my air off. Anyway. But anyway, you got to make a plan. You have to do something. You have to set goals because if you're just shooting into the dark, you're just shooting into a room. I mean, what are you going to hit?
Exactly. And I've heard it before. When you write down your goals, that's when you really put them into motion. When you're making goals, make sure you write them down and have people that are going to hold you accountable for making sure that these goals are achieved and keeping you on the right track to getting to where you need to be.
That is perfectly said because when you keep it in here, there's no reason to have to follow. But if I tell you my goal for next year is to, I'm not even going to tell you. We see how it works.
Yeah. See, then you never know.
Right.
You don't fail if nobody knows.
Exactly.
So we get all of your tricks. But, when we're looking at auto repair shops, there's a lot of different types of goals that can really be a factor going into the 2019 year. And I think it's a really great time to start talking about them. So that way you can talk to your team about them and you can really refine what works best.
Exactly. Because if you don't set the goal, well, your first goal is to set the goals.
Sure.
I know that's kind of...
Goal number one.
Goal number one is to set the goals. Goal number two, don't go nuts.
Yes.
So that's the thing. A lot of people go, oh, I got to lose 400 pounds. Well, I don't even weigh 400 pounds, You have to set a goal that's reasonable. So one of the things I would suggest is to maybe put down 10 goals and really do a heart-to-mind thinking about that and see what's going on. And people are wondering why my fingernails are done. That's what happens when the 4-year-old wants to do her nails and you don't want a big mess. So you just go ahead. So that's anyway. But we try to keep it interesting, right?
I have to.
So anyway, you got to set a list because if you make it too big and if you make your goals too far out, it's going to be really difficult to get there. And what happens? You get disappointed. You just throw them away and whatnot. Sometimes just picking the low fruit is where you want to start with.
Absolutely. It's called setting smart goals. Making sure that they are attainable, that they're realistic, that they're timely, and putting yourself on the right track to actually reaching these goals. If you have goals, like you said, that are just too far-fetched, you're going to become unmotivated, and ultimately, you're just setting yourself up for failure.
Yes.
Be reasonable, be gentle with yourself, too. You want to make sure that it's always a challenge, that you're really straining to get to somewhere that's going to put you in the right direction, but don't ever set yourself up for failure.
That's very good advice.
Thank you.
Because if you set yourself up for failure, that's a really bad goal.
Yeah, exactly. So, we know that there's always different types of goals. So we have long-term goals and we have short-term goals. And some of the long-term goals that we were just discussing before this, could be anywhere from the expansion of your business, whether that's into a new product line, adding in new services, adding on a location.
Yeah, getting a larger location, adding on a few more lifts.
Yep.
So when you're thinking about that, now that goes to another goal.
Yes.
The employees that you need to have to fill those spaces. And everybody knows right now that getting employees is extremely difficult. Getting real good employees is even harder. So what kind of goal can you set so that you can start preparing for that person? You don't need them yet, but you can prepare for that person because you have a goal set aside to get them.
Absolutely. And when you think about employee goals, so as the owner of your automotive repair shop, you're going to have goals for your team, right? It could be around productivity. It could be around simply adding new people onto your team. But it's also important to really set goals alongside of your teammates. Take each individual aside, learn what they're trying to achieve and how you can match that to some of the business goals and help them in their personal goals as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, team goals and personal goals.
Yes.
Because remember, you're going to give everybody their own goals, but give a team together and make it work. I mean, remember, How hard did you work for that gold star in grade school? That was your goal. So again, where I'm just keep going back, and that's my theme today, is to keep telling you that goals are important, and then know that you have to aim for that. You can keep listing the goals, and I'll keep reminding people.
Perfect. All right. So we talked about some of our long-term goals that could be around the business itself. We talked about some employment goals, whether that's adding new employees onto the team or just simply creating goals with the current employees and the team that you have. Some of the goals that I feel like are most common, not just in the auto repair industry, but also for businesses in general. Everybody's looking at their annual sales, right?
Their numbers.
Their numbers. That's what everyone's able to track. And while they're very, very important, there's a lot of other smaller goals that will lead to your annual impact that you need to be measuring as well, because one simple fix could end up being, the ultimate game changer for your annual goal at the end of the year.
Just setting that goal. Guess what? I'm doing it again. But the thing is just setting that goal and then looking at exactly what you just said. That is what you got to do, because how can you measure growth if you don't have a way of measuring it? Isn't
Absolutely.
a goal a way of measuring it? So keeping that in mind and thinking about how many cars you went through your shop, how much is your average repair order, how many of your customers are returning, how many new ones did you get? These are all goals that you should really take a look at and put them out there, because if you don't have a target to aim at, how are you ever going to hit it?
Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, it could be adding more cars, coming into your shop. It could be increasing your average repair order. It's really up to you to go back, look at what you've done really, really well, and look at what's going to get you to that overall goal of achieving X% growth for the 2019 year.
And know what? You are the queen that can answer this question.
Oh, here I am.
Because marketing should be a
Yes.
goal, and social media should be a goal. Go to it.
All right, so when it comes to marketing, there's so many different goals that you have, and it needs to align with your overall business goals. So if you have a website and you're saying you want to get all new website traffic, how is that going to help you at the end of the day? Now, if you have an opportunity for people to submit forms or to call directly from your website, that can help lead you to getting more business in the overall year. So be very smart and strategic with your marketing goals and align them with the goals that are going to help you with your overall business. That could be online goals, that could be being more proactive in your community, that could be simply hosting more car care events. So that way you have a better representation and a better reputation within your community. Social media is also important. Perhaps you've been inconsistent with your social media. Maybe one of your goals is just to make sure that you're posting once a day and holding yourself to those standards, so that way it helps you build a better brand online.
And that's the big thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Many things that we can do on social media cost nothing.
Yes.
So I can open up a Facebook account, I can open up a LinkedIn account, a YouTube account for my shop. It costs me nothing but a little bit of time. And if I can get people coming there, can I also send them my website or vice versa?
Absolutely. And of course, now there are benefits to adding a budget into your social media efforts and things along those lines, because you're able to target people that don't know about your business already. But a lot of times it really is that time and that consistency that's going to help you be successful on all these platforms. It can't just be your goal in January and then come April you forget about it. No, it's going to be a consistent effort all the way out, and making sure that it's reasonable for everything that you have going on in your shop. Another big thing related to social media is your customer reviews and ultimately your retention rates at your shop.
Customer reviews, again, pretty much a freebie if you do it right. And remember, today we don't have people in the kingdom saying, hey, where can I go see the best Smitty? Go see Sven, he's the best, because that was word of mouth. That's gone. The phone book, it's gone. How do you get references? Social media. And what is that? Reviews.
Absolutely. And the more reviews you have, that means the happier your customers are and the more likely they're going to be coming back to your shop.
And everyone's now cringing saying, oh my God, they're not all perfect. That's okay. You don't have to have 5 stars forever, because that starts to make me wonder, oh, what's going on here? You know, how much, so that's the other side. A goal for taking care of the unhappy reviews.
Yes.
How are you going to do it? What's it going to do for you and measure, are you going to be able to measure the results? I have found in my career that some of the worst customers, I shouldn't say it that way, some of the customers I've had the worst interactions with,
Sure.
when we got through that emotion, we got through that negativity, they became my best customers.
Oh, I believe it. It's all about the relationship.
So I think that that's yet another goal, social media.
Absolutely. And the most important goals to make sure that you don't just brush under the rug and you actually prioritize for yourself are your personal goals. And personal goals can be many different things. It could be your own personal income that you hope to bring in this year. It could be leadership goals and how you better want to manage your team. Or it simply could be work-life balance. And that's something that's really important that oftentimes people forget about because they're always focused on the business goals and the revenue goals. But really, your quality of life is also going to be a main factor into reaching some of these other business goals.
I mean, definitely your personal goals. And you hit it right on the head because you know what? Everything revolves around you. And if you can't support yourself with some really good goals and a balance of life, and remember, we don't, I always get this wrong. You don't live to work. You work to live.
Yep.
So use those hours that you worked, get out there and live. I mean, put your plan together, and that's what it is. And I think that if you can solve some of your problems, set some of your own personal goals and follow them, that the shop's going to benefit because everyone's going to see a different person.
Absolutely. I completely agree. When you're happier, you work harder, and people around you are going to want to work harder as well. So, these are just some of our biggest tips going into 2019 and making sure that we're holding all of you accountable for setting your goals this year.
Yeah, because, yeah.
If you want to grow, you got to make sure you have goals in place.
Yeah, I mean, we said if we got $1 for every time we said goals today, that would be a really good thing. But here's the thing, all kidding aside. You got to make a plan. A goal is a plan, and a goal is a destination for the plan. So as Shayna and I are sharing with you, you definitely want to put some down. And know what? If it's only one goal and you succeed at it, it's a start.
Absolutely. 100%. So until next time, we would love to hear what some of your shop's goals are for 2019. Drop us a comment below. What are some things that you guys are really working on, whether it's revenue goals, whether it's expansion goals, whether it's just team or personal goals? We want to hear, we want to know what's going on in your shops. We only have one live stream left for 2018. We're going to be taking off in between the holidays for our live stream to come back with that much more excitement in 2019. We have plenty of goals around our live streams.
Right.
And we hope that we get to give you some good information around some of the things that you have going on, at your shop, so that way we can provide you the most valuable information really all together.
Definitely. So folks, remember, we got a week. Reach out to us if you have any ideas. If anyone has a goal that you think's kind of like out there, share it so we can talk about it and see what it's like. And besides all that, have a great end of the year.
Yes.
Have a great holiday.
And take advantage of our special offer that we have going on right now.
Yeah, Bolton's got a great offer right now that if you're considering it, give us a holler so we can go through all the details, but it's really good.
It's really good. It's something that you're going to want under your Christmas tree this year.
Oh, yeah. I never thought of it that way.
Santa's coming a little early here at Bolton. But until next week, thank you so much for tuning in. Leave us some of your goals down below. And if you have any recommendations of what you want us to talk about next, keep us updated.
Yeah.
Bye.
Have a great one, folks.